Welcome, I'm Dr. Janine Bowering, naturopathic doctor, and today I'm discussing 9 tips how to get rid of a headache and how to do it naturally. So I get a lot of questions about headaches and migraines, even tension headaches, and these are my top 9 tips on how to do this naturally. So tip number 1 is to remove the toxicity in your body. So yes, our bodies do accumulate toxins over time, and it's really important to use natural herbal medicines, things like milk thistle, parsley, and burdock root to help to get those toxins out of the internal organs, and doing that full body detox at least 3 to 4 times a year when the seasons are changing and when our body best supports doing that detox is a great way to eliminate those headaches, which often have that root cause of that toxicity in those internal organs. Namely, usually what I've found in the past with my patients is in the liver as well as in the colon and the digestive tract, and when those toxins build up, this can be a cause for those headaches. Tip number 2 is to clean up the microbiome. So that environment in the gut, it's really important to make sure that we have a good diversity of those organisms in the gut, but also to ensure that we are getting rid of the bad ones, because parasites and candida, they can often lead to headaches and to craving all the wrong foods, which can also trigger headaches as well. So cleaning up that microbiome by having fermented foods, things like yogurt and kimchi is great. And sometimes you may need to go to a probiotic supplement as well to ensure that you're getting enough of those good guys in. Tip number 3 is to increase the fiber in your diet. So constipation, we know, is a direct correlation to having those headaches. And when the bowels are not releasing those toxins and your body's holding on to that fecal matter for too long of a time because of the constipation, this can really cause a headache. And with my patients over the years, they always reported when I would ask about headaches if a bowel movement would make it better and alleviate that headache. And sure enough, that often is the case. So really important to ensure that you get those bowels going and alleviate that constipation by making sure that you have enough good quality soluble and insoluble fiber in the diet. Tip number 4 is to decrease your stress. So we know that stress is definitely correlated with headaches, and getting those stress headaches, especially those tension headaches that can happen here in the trapezius muscle. Really important that we're addressing that stress, doing it naturally. Check out my other videos on relaxation. We have some great binaural beats and nice relaxing music to help you to sleep as well, because getting that proper sleep and alleviating that stress definitely go hand in hand. Tip number 5 is to make sure that you don't have leptin resistance. So if you missed my show, The Science of Weight Loss, Leptin Resistance, it's so important that we entrain our bodies to be in sync with nature. And that means looking at the sun in the morning, getting grounded and connected with the earth, and the geomagnetic forces of the earth is really important as well, and ensuring that we stop eating at a certain time. So all those tips are in that leptin resistance show. Be sure to check that out, because often headaches are very much correlated to our hormones being out of balance and with that leptin resistance. And this is something that I've experienced myself, having had headaches in the past and doing everything right, what I thought was right naturally. And not until I fixed my leptin resistance did I really have no headaches whatsoever. So make sure that you check out that episode. Tip number 6 is the rebound headache. So if you're accustomed to taking something over the counter for your headaches, be it ibuprofen or acetaminophen, there is something called the rebound headache. So yes, it may alleviate the symptoms of that initial headache, but now because your body is getting used to having that over-the-counter medicine, what can happen is that you get a rebound headache and your body's looking for that next hit of that medicine. So it's really important to wean yourself off of these whenever you can, and doing it naturally. This is where our tip number 1 with detoxification for the headaches is really helpful at getting that out of your system, but at the same time really treating the root cause of that toxicity and the cause of those headaches in the first place. Tip number 7 is to watch your eye strain, no pun intended. So the more that you are looking at devices very close to your sight of vision, or at computer monitors or at television screens, the more that you're straining your eyes, this can really be a cause for headaches as well. So you want to do your best to eliminate that overexposure to especially your eyes focusing at one distance. So one little exercise that you can do to really help with this is to focus on that close distance. So maybe that would be, for instance, your cell phone is close to you, then you're going to focus here, but then you're going to choose to focus somewhere far away. And then you change your focus and you keep oscillating between that far focus and that close focus. And what that does is it really helps to take the strain off of those ocular muscles, helps to relieve that eye strain. Another thing you can do is eye massage. So during the day, if you find that your eyes are getting very tired or you're having a difficulty with focusing, but also that you're starting to get that tension type of headache because of that eye strain, is to do nice little circles with your fingers around your brow bone and doing that, and then you can actually go underneath the eyes as well, right on that bone tissue, and of course at the temples as well is fantastic for helping to eliminate that eye strain. I always like to close my eyes when I do this because I just find it so much more helpful to actually relax those muscles and just allow the eyes to relax. Really great for those headaches, and you can often, stave off that headache completely by doing this in the moment as soon as you have noticed that you are, holding that tension there. Tip number 8 is to do some acupressure. So in some very important acupuncture points, so one of them is called large intestine 4. So this is, if you are looking at when you put your thumb together, at the end of that long crease there is an acupuncture point, and this is related to your large intestine. So going back again to tip number 1 with the toxicity issues that, getting rid of, and my tip number 3 with getting, rid of that constipation, you want to stimulate that acupuncture meridian, which is connected to the large intestine. And by doing that, just little circles with your finger in that area, and I go clockwise, but maybe in Australia you go counterclockwise, it doesn't really matter, but you're pressing with a little bit of pressure here, because when you hit that acupuncture point, you'll actually feel a bit of a sensation of, it's not really pain, but it's like an ache that kind of goes right through your hand, and you know that you've got the point correctly, especially if you have some blockage in that meridian in your large intestine. But this is a master point for the head, so for headaches it's a fantastic way to alleviate those headaches right on the spot, and again, completely natural. And tip number 9 is to use some essential oil, and my favorite one for headaches is peppermint oil, because it really has a bit of a tingling effect. You want to make sure that you don't get this near your eyes, so don't get it on your fingers. This one has a bit of a roller ball on it, but any type of peppermint oil will work. Make sure it's a high quality, if you can, organic oil, and all you do is you put it on those pressure points. So if you're getting the headaches as that sort of that tension headache at the back of the neck, you can put it back here. If you get it around the temples, again, you're going to put it in your hairline. You don't want it too close to your eyes because it can really burn your eyes. I've made the mistake of doing this once at my son's basketball game and inadvertently got it too close to my eyes, and I couldn't see for about 3-4 minutes and was panicking, and it was really burning. So you want to make sure that you don't do that. But there are a bunch of, if you sort of poke around on your head and you have tender spots on your head, that's a great spot to put the essential oil of the peppermint, and it's really soothing. It takes a couple minutes because I don't feel much right now, but then it has a great cooling sensation a couple minutes later, and that blood flow is going to increase and you will just feel fantastic. It will really help to alleviate that headache. So I hope that you'll be able to use the tips in today's video to help with your headaches. If you know somebody who suffers with headaches, be sure to share this video with them. And if you've got some other tips, I would love to hear from you how you help your own headaches and how you do it naturally. If you've got questions as well or comments, I would love to hear from you, so make sure you put them below. If you're new to my channel, welcome, and make sure that you are subscribed and you turn on those notifications by clicking that bell. We're uploading new videos every single day, so I don't want you to miss anything. And remember to always take care of your good health and to do it naturally. Thanks for joining me today.